1. 3, 2, 1.
What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Philly Uncensored Sports Podcast. We here after the first official Nick Nurse Sixers victory. And I gotta say this. I've been trying to hold my feelings on this, but I think now is the time. I think we have seen officially the passing of the torch. I'm gonna say it. I think it's now Maxey's team. Maxey, it appears that he's been empowered by Nick Nurse with a green light to shoot what he want, to do what he want, to carry the team, to take the crucial shots, whether it be good or bad. And not only is he empowered to take these shots, he's making the shots. So the more he makes them, the more he's gonna be empowered. I'm honestly saying that. I love Joel Embiid. He's my man. I think Maxey is that dude right now. That's what I'm saying. That's what it's a couple of things I took from this game. That's one of them. What's your thoughts?
I mean, I
agree with that.
I'm not mad at that. I do think Maxey is taking the next step up in his evolution, but I don't necessarily think it. I don't think it has to be a Maxey or Embiid team. I think that I don't think it does, because a lot of the stuff Maxey get is off Embiid setting picks for him. I think that as we've seen tonight, I think they can coexist as star players. I hear y'all. I know so many people want to take stuff from Maxey. Maxey is that bold. I'm ecstatic because Maxey actually also running, making passes, but so is Embiid. They both had like 8 assists or something like that tonight. I like Nick Nurse's system, and I like the way that they implement. I like the fact that it doesn't have to be strictly just Joel Embiid down the stretch. When Maxey cooking tonight was a prime example. When Maxey was cooking, let Maxey cook. And I do think that the Sixers do that. I don't think it has to be a Maxey or Embiid thing.
Maxey didn't score it.
There's only one king. There's only one king in the house.
Maxey didn't score the entire first quarter, and he still ended up with the same as Joel Embiid, which is impressive. And Joel had like 14 in the first quarter. Yep. Maxey had 15 in the second.
That's what I'm saying. I thought that they played a perfect team game. One was hot, one was cooking, and the other one carried other times.
What I liked, good looking out, Ampu Mine. So he said Maxey has morphed into SGA. Maxey balling. What I like too is stop giving PJ Tucker had like 20 minutes. It's still, he had 21 minutes. It's still 20 minutes too much. But I'm glad he wasn't in there in the end of the game. And Joel, he can't do what Kelly Oubre was able to do. And Kelly Oubre could defend. Like he can go down, he can get that ball. If PJ would have got that ball there, he's not scoring. He's not scoring. He probably get it punched, foul, or he'll run back out and kick it back out. So Nick Nurse has to start getting away from this. I don't like PJ though, I ain't gonna lie. Nick Nurse has to get away from this PJ Tucker.
He likes
Tucker
PJ
thing.
For some reason. He likes
but I did like what House did, gave him some minutes. I'm really falling out of love with the boy Melton. Melton is really not playing well.
He's struggling. It's only 2 games, but he is struggling.
He's struggling bad. PJ is the mascot. PJ, what does he do? What does he bring to the team? Why is he starting? I understand.
PJ and Danny Green, I wouldn't be mad if PJ and Danny Green don't need to see any time, in my opinion. I mean,
we have 5 minutes tonight. That was 3 minutes too much. He's somebody you put in right before half, or you know what I'm saying? Just to maybe they can get a shot in the corner, leave him open. That's all he's for. But these young guys, we need to start getting guys that's really going to be able to contribute. Like House, get him some minutes. Who else? I don't know why Mama don't get no minutes. Maybe he's not proving himself.
I mean, I guess that's because B-Ball Paul getting. I thought Paul Reed actually was more active tonight too.
He was. So it was actually, Maxey and B just controlled the game. But Maxey, what I don't like is Maxey was like the only one hitting threes tonight. That's really is a good thing for Maxey, but it's a bad thing for the entire team.
Told y'all about Maxey 3. What did I say?
We'll see how it goes.
What did I tell y'all? Tim, what's your thoughts before I jump back in again?
I know. Let me get in before you go off.
Speak up.
Good game. I'm impressed. I too I'm watching DeAnthony Melton. I saw what he did in the playoffs last year, and he's starting off bad. He literally had 2 points tonight. And then the other night, I think he was like 5 points, 30%. Tonight he was 1 for 7. So I'm looking at him. It's too early to come to a conclusion. but I'm not liking what I'm seeing. This is Max's team. Let's end it right now.
I don't agree with that.
Max's team. He's the star of the show. He's the closer. He's that boy that's going to think about it. He didn't score no points. And
you keep go ahead. My fault. Go ahead.
So Wayne, you came in. You was like, well, Maxey. But B was getting Maxey open. Maxey went out in the middle of the first quarter and then come back into the second quarter. B didn't play but 5 good minutes of the second quarter. Maxey scored 15 points. Mm-hmm. And then in that second unit, in the third quarter, Maxey got another 14 points. The was nowhere to be found.
I don't know why y'all feel the urge so bad to make it a Maxey or Embiid team. They both can coexist and be co-star on the team. Right. What are y'all talking about?
That's the
Embiid is the defensive anchor. Embiid sets pick for everybody on the court. He had like 8 assists, and you still come here and first thing, the torch is passed. They both star players. Why do you can't have both? Stop hating.
Maxey did good. I mean, not Maxey, but Embiid did good. He cut down the turnovers. He didn't have the turnovers like he did in the good game. I have no complaints about what Embiid did.
They both played really good games.
And the reason why I have no complaints because Embiid didn't have all that pressure because the star of the show was there. The star was there.
So who carried the team? Who carried the team early?
I'll say this.
No, my bad. That wasn't you.
It wasn't Joel. We was down 9 when Joel left the game. At the end of the first quarter, we was down 9.
Hey, Philly Eagles fan. Also, thank you for being a Sixers and the Eagles fan. He said Oubre needs to start put Tobias on the bench. I talked about that actually yesterday in between us when we was talking. I was saying that might be a good idea to kind of bring Tobias off the bench and start Oubre. But as long as Oubre is flourishing off the bench, I'm okay. As long as he's okay with it, I'm okay with it. Now, if you hear Oubre kind of feeling like he needs to start getting in the game and start starting, then if that's the case, I will acquiesce Toby to the bench and start Oubre. But as long as the chemistry is popping, Oubre keep coming off the bench because Oubre's still getting the minutes. And as long as Oubre get the minutes, he's going to be fine because then he could get the contract. So I'm cool with that. But I wouldn't mind either way. I see what you're saying. I could kind of agree with that. SS, formerly known as Sexy Scenarios, he said Tim maybe Tim maybe wait a few games before you anoint Maxey over our All-Star every day. Listen, I'm with you. I came on anointing Maxey. I already proclaimed that I thought this was going to be Maxey's year to be around 25, 27 points a game. Right now, he's averaging over 30. So just in 2 games is probably 34, 31. That's what gets you about 32, 33 points.
Right.
Averaging. I think by the end of the year, it's going to flesh out and be probably around 27, especially if Harden doesn't come back. If Harden comes back, it may go to 24, 25. But if Harden don't come back, he's definitely going to stay around at 27 points a game, I think.
Do you bring Harden back?
John, you know what? I'm not getting trolled because these dudes on here talking that mean it. Ephraim might be the only dude that actually be even kill with it. Tim hates Embiid, and Ethan secretly hates Embiid because Ethan was a big Ben Simmons fan when it was Ben and Embiid, and he wanted to take Embiid.
I don't hate Embiid. Listen, Embiid played a great game tonight. But to help Embiid out, you still got to put players around. Like,
I agree.
The PJ Tucker thing, right? He doesn't help your floor spacing. You got the floor. He doesn't help your floor spacing at all.
I agree.
So that's why he don't help Embiid and he don't help Maxey get open. He doesn't. So you really got to do something with that. Honestly, this is my only problem with Embiid.
Go ahead.
He sets his picks. He doesn't roll hard to the basket. That irritates me sometimes. He sets a pick, then he moves off to the side to get the ball for the shot. Like, you don't even pull your man away.
But Ethan, can I ask you this though?
I'm not going to complain.
But can I ask you this though? Now let me ask you this. So would you rather Embiid pick and then roll where Maxey, the strength of Maxey game is beating dudes off the dribble and getting to the basket? So do you rather Embiid roll to the basket and then clog the lane up where Maxey can beat dudes off the dribble?
You can see Maxey likes playing with Oubre because he's athletic. See how you try to throw him the oop and stuff like that. You want to that stuff makes it. When the last time you seen somebody throw Embiid the oop?
But you telling Embiid to cut. But you're mad that Embiid doesn't cut to the basket. But my thing is, if Embiid cuts to the basket, if he cut to the basket, If he cuts to the right, then that's why he stays outside, because now his man has to guard him on the mid range. Whereas if he goes to the basket, now you have a congested lane. You can't throw the oop to Oubre. Maxey can't drop to the basket. If Embiid flares out and he can hit that mid range at a high consistency, to me that's better floor spacing. Now you can have the other dudes cutting in and dunking.
My only knock is he never cuts hard to the basket.
Never.
I don't agree with that. He cut to the basket a couple times a day.
Listen, he a defensive angle, like you said. He got nice blocks at the end. B did his thing. But I think it needs to go through Maxey. That's just my opinion.
I'm not mad at
that. Well, I'll say this: as much praise I gave Maxey today, I do love Joel Embiid's stat line. He gave you that Joker stat line tonight. He had 34, 9, and 8, and he actually had 3 assists in a matter of like 3 minutes. If y'all toward that game.
He was catching Oubre underneath the basket.
Hold up, real quick, Ephraim. I'm gonna let you finish. How many times he passed that ball out to Melton, and Melton shot bricks when he was wide open? It was, I counted 4 shots at least. Melton shot bricks when the Embiid threw it to him when he was wide open.
Yeah.
Wayne just did a Kanye West. Wait, Ephraim, I'm gonna let you finish.
I did.
No, he did. He gave 2 quick passes to Oubre, both on cuts, and then he handed off to Maxey for the 3, where Maxey kind of got behind him. That was 3 assists in a matter like it was only like a 2-minute span, and he got 3 quick assists. But if B makes those passes like that, and you have players cutting like Oubre, then he could. He's showing he could do this. We was asking for a Joker type stat line. Remember, he kept saying he could he got the mid range, and the defense come out to him, and he could double team, and all he got to do is pass fast. If he can pass like that, and dudes can finish like Oubre, the league is in trouble, man. I think we're going to be a sleeper team. I'm not.
I told you, I like it. I
told you I was getting the #1 seed.
I'm not going that far yet, but I am liking what I see, and I am liking. Somebody said this last podcast, forget who it was. The Bull Nick Nurse right now is looking better than Doc Rivers. Tim, I know you love Doc. I know you FBA strong and all this kind of stuff like that, but Doc is looking like a fraud right now. And
let me address this lie Tim just said. Tim just lied. Tim said this. What he said. We gonna be enough. No, you said we need to be a #1 seed. You didn't say we were going to be. You did not say we were going to be.
Yesterday, the last podcast, he said we were going to be #1.
Yeah, he said we can be #1.
All you gotta do is push the play back. It's only one podcast before.
I think we need one more athletic, either a guard or a wing. I think we need one more athletic ball. Like
trade James Harden for Levine. Let's do it.
Yeah, he had 51. What did he have? 51, 52 tonight?
I don't know if I necessarily want another dominant ball, because you already got beat in Maxey. I just think you need another complimentary player.
But I don't think you need dominant. But even if you have, see, this is the thing. You can have.
He is a dominant ball scorer.
We're saying down, but in Nick Nurse's system, it's a lot of passing, and this is my thing. Even if you got guys that can be dominant and do that with the rock, they don't. That's just like you look at Bede and Maxey. Look at how they shared the ball, and Oubre still got his shot attempts. For real, everybody's getting shot attempts in this system. So if you give me a guy that can put up points like that, he don't necessarily have to dominate the ball. You're going to get open looks because you have other guys that can shoot and score around you.
Fair point. Yeah, Zach LaVine ain't going to dominate too much. He had 51 points and 0 assists tonight.
How many? What was this volume of score? It's all about the volume of scoring.
19 for 32 from the field, 7 for 13 from the 3.
So, because the only thing we need right now is we just need somebody who can hit shots, just knock down open 3-pointers. That's what we need.
LaVine is streaky though on his 3.
He is.
John, I agree with you. He said he liked how Nick Nurse called a timeout before that lead got devoured. I thought that he was up by 10, I think, at that time, and he just wasn't liking the way the Sixers were looking. He called a timeout to kind of readjust things to make sure. He was definitely securing that victory, his first victory. But I like that coaching. We seen Doc a lot of times wait until we was up. Only we like a 10-point lead will evaporate, and then he'll call timeout when we either down by 1 or up by 1. By that time,
we 10-point lead yesterday. Thursday. Don't act like we didn't just lose.
First of all, that was an 8-point lead, and that was 3 bad turnovers that happened so fast. That was 3 bad plays that happened so fast that nobody could predict.
He ain't called no timeout.
But you know what he did? He learned from it. And the very next game, he called timeout. Not would have let that happen all year long. I know that's your man's, but I'm just calling it what it is so far. Everybody's saying I'm liking the ball movement. I'm liking the substitutions. I just need to see PJ out there a little bit more. They said Danny Green only got a couple minutes.
You mean PJ a little bit less?
That's what I mean. I need.
I know. I know what you meant.
And I need to
make sure everybody know what you meant.
And I need to make sure that Danny Green only get about 5 minutes. If he only getting that, I'm cool. I'm cool with
King Maine, like you said, Nurse actually makes adjustments, and to me the key point that shows that a coach makes adjustments is both games. The Sixers came out in the third quarter and went on big runs. They had big third quarters. To me, that shows that a coach going in at the half and like, okay, we need to switch this, that, and other up and make adjustments. And I thought both games so far, Nick Nurse has shown that. I'm not going to just automatically go ahead and say Nick Nurse better than Doc, this, that, and the other.
I am.
Only because it's a 2-game win. I do think Nick Nurse is a better tactician than Doc because I thought that him in Toronto outcoached Doc. However, I'm going to give. I'm not going to just jump out over 2 games, but in these first 2 games, I like what I see from Nick Nurse. I like what I saw in the first game. A lot of people was hating and mad and beat and this, that, and the other. I thought the first game the Sixers got robbed. This game, I think the Sixers is a better team than people think, and I'm willing to sit there and let Harden rot until we can get something solid for him.
This is a better team that we have now than we had last year.
I agree.
If you put the team from last year this year, I'll take this team every time. First of all, Maxey's better. Joel
that's what I was saying. Maxey.
Kelly Oubre is way better than whoever was coming off our bench. You gonna sit there and say this team ain't better than last year's team?
Listen, you still had a solid team. You had a solid enough team to
lose in the second round again.
We battling back and forth for a while. We kind of slipped out number 1 seed early, but we was a good enough team to go to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. So don't come on here and act too much like we was suspect and Doc was dealing with like Keystone Cops or something, bro. Stop. Listen, he had a nice squad.
Nick Nurse
didn't finish the deal.
Nick Nurse got fired too last year. Remember that. Nick Nurse is not like Nick Nurse. We had to give up 3-4 draft picks to get him.
We already know Tim Judge is on a curve, a melanin curve.
Norm B said if you miss Doc, tune in to ESPN. You can hear him commentate games. He's actually commentating the Golden State game yesterday. Steph Curry had 41 points, by the way.
I like the hire, but y'all trying to close down the Negro League and play in the major leagues because black ain't good no more.
Not his black.
Who said that? See, that's the problem. See, that's the problem. You're worried about judging it on black and white. I'm worried about judging it on X and O.
All seriousness, I like what I see from Nick Nurse. I do, but it's 2 games, so I just need to see.
I agree.
I agree, but so far I'm liking what I'm saying. And if this continues, we're gonna be in a good position. I think.
Did y'all see? I meant to post it earlier. Did y'all see where Giannis was talking about the Sixers' first game, and he was saying how he sees the difference, like even how they played, the intensity of how they play. He was saying, of course, it was an opening game of the season, so it might be a little bit to that. But he was like the defensive intensity and the way that they were playing him. He said he see a drastic difference in it.
I heard him say that.
Okay.
But he act like we didn't split last year 2-2. I mean, come on.
My thing is too.
They beat us.
See, this is the thing that I like the most out of anything. He playing the dudes that need to be played, and he's playing.
I agree.
And he's playing the youth as well.
Why ain't playing the young boy today though?
I did want to see Springer get some burn.
I mean,
might just start playing him.
I think it, like Ethan said though, last game, you're gonna have time throughout the season to kind of tinker with lineups and put this person in here and put that person here because House got more. I think he got more minutes than he did. Did House even play game 1?
No, he didn't play game 1.
No, he didn't play. Nope.
Got House in there now, so you trying to tinker with lineups and see who could. Who gonna fit in and who going to work with this lineup and who going to work with that lineup. So it's time throughout the year to figure all that out. But I'm liking what I'm saying, man. I know Tim, you feeling some type way and all that.
I know. I told you I like
now,
but I'm liking what I'm saying.
I did hear this about Nurse that he does like his veterans. That's probably why you see this bum Danny Green and PJ Tucker still get in. Because he's still, I guess he holds his veterans dear. So he giving Graney these minutes. Probably Springer should be getting ready to play more minutes. So Danny Green looks like he's done out there.
Danny Green he got plantar fasciitis. Like
we see from Nurse in Toronto. Nurse is not opposed to playing young guys and letting them get that shine though.
Danny Green look like he overweight. He look like Tim running around out there.
Like got bad feet, like his feet hurt, like the gout. They like
I will say I like so far the most.
To zoom up.
Hey, no strays entertainment. I appreciate the chat, but I agree. When I'm not. I think what we're saying is we're seeing a difference in the coaching strategy so far, and I agree with you. It's only one win, 2 games. I think it should have been 2 wins, but I see 2 games. But I do see a drastic difference in how this is being managed so far. Because who knows, it might change up in a week or so. But I'm saying so far, I do see is better ball movement, which Ethan has always been a proponent of talking about. Is better ball movement. Is not just being stuck. And I even like the one point when Embiid had the rock and he gave it to Maxey and he said, "Go ahead," like he's telling him, "I'm setting the pick. This is for you." And Maxey went in and then he stepped back and hit that 3.
Now, he was telling Maxey that last year.
Yeah, but it looked like Maxey is actually.
Maxey finally understanding that, yes, I got to be dominant. Maxey made changes.
Maxey added a step back jumper, too, instead of driving all the way out of control.
Yes.
But it also takes your coach to empower you to do so.
Yes.
You can't say that at all. The one thing I did with Maxey was empower.
I'm not talking about just Maxey. I'm talking about everybody. It was clear that he didn't empower B-Ball Paul to be aggressive with the scoring.
Yes.
It was obvious that he wanted dudes just to get the ball, give it to B, give it to Harden, get to Maxey, and get out the way. So I'm just liking the total team camaraderie type thing where everybody seems to be empowered to do their thing if they score. We'll see how it turns out. But the reason why I know strays, we adamant about what we're seeing because we watched 82. You know how many podcasts we did last year?
How many? Who did? Who?
I know.
We did about 6
podcasts we've done through the last 3 years. We did a lot of podcasts and watched a lot of games and analyzed a lot of footage, and it was a lot of complaining about what we didn't like, what we saw. So we'll see how this translates going forward and also in the playoffs, and we'll be able to break Nick Nurse down. Who knows? By January, I might be saying I want Doc back. But from what I'm seeing right now, I'm loving what I'm seeing better than what I saw from Doc. That's all I'm saying. Let
me get at it. Here's what I'm saying. It's only 2 games. What I do like so far is I like Maxey not playing very much in the first quarter and letting Embiid start cooking. That to me, I know yesterday the first game they did it because he was in foul trouble, but they went back and did the exact same thing today, where he set out a little bit in the first quarter. Then he came back, and Embiid's been playing the entire first quarter the last 2 games. Then he comes in, he can get wet, he can get his feet wet and everything. Then the Maxey go on and he just keep going off in the second quarter. This is the second game in a row. So
Maxey said he just
7 for 9.
Maxey said they asked him about that. He said he's just letting the game come to him. He said B had it going, and you don't want to force nothing. You ain't had to force no shot. Let it come to you. B had it going in the first quarter, so kept giving B the ball. He just let the game come to him. He said it's a little about maturity.
And that's to y'all point that y'all made, like even in the first game, and I agree with y'all. We need Maxey and B both to be to that point. And it looked like B was more on that today. Like, whereas though I don't got to be the guy to do it. Like I don't have to, and because sometimes you do get that too. So like when you're the guy of the franchise, you feel like I got it. Because if I don't do it, everybody gonna look at me like I choked. So, but I think that they do have to find that balance. Whereas though Embiid and Maxey, like Maxey said, when B was cooking, let B cook, and B got to be like how he was today. Maxey cooking, let him cook.
Yeah, B. I mean down the stretch, I'm not gonna say. Listen, all I'll say is so far. The one thing where B really let me down was the playoffs. All regular season B last year, B was clutch in huge moments, did huge baskets, huge rebounds, huge blocks, the whole kit and caboodle. He let us down in the playoffs, so I think a lot of people really that's the last memory people have of Jordan.
That's all that matters, though.
That's why that matters. I agree with you, but what I'm saying is I kind of agree with the comment. I kind of agree with the comment because of that what happened. But during the regular season, I don't think he always needs to be a second or third option. I think I agree. If he cooking, let him cook. Because B, we all know B could just as much as we seeing Maxey doing his thing. B can cook as well. B can get hot. B can have a 50-point game. He can hit 12 of 20 mid-range shots and all that kind of stuff like that. So Do he need to always be a second, third option? No, I think he got some big games in the regular season. Now, postseason, now we might be talking a little different. We'll see about.
Wait, hold on, Leon. You saying second and third option? What? So who should be the two options over him? I can understand if you saying Maxey. You saying who's the other option that should be over Embiid on this team?
Do you prepare? Hold on. Do you prepare Embiid's mind now that you're not going to always be the number one option down the stretch?
Yes.
I don't think he want to be the number one option.
I agree, Tim. I think he doesn't mind deferring certain times.
Hold on. You talking about game on the line, B don't want the ball? That's what y'all saying.
That's what you said in game 6, right? Because he didn't call for it. He didn't demand it. Right? Ain't that what you said?
I'm talking about if it's a tie game and it's 10 seconds left, B don't want the ball.
We won't let this game 6 go.
This is the argument that was made in game
left. Entire game, B don't want the ball.
That's the argument that he made in game 6 because Embiid didn't get the ball for the last 4 minutes of the game and whatever, this, that, and other. But you said because he didn't demand it.
He didn't demand it. He's scared of James Harden.
You saying he's scared? So was he scared of Maxey when he was letting Maxey cook today? I think B realizes he needs help.
He looks at Maxey like a son. He looked at James.
I don't think he does. I think he wants Maxey to be. I think Embiid. Even last year, I thought at certain times. I think Embiid likes Maxey. I think he likes to play with Maxey, and he wants He wants Maxey to be what Maxey can be. I think that Embiid's fine. I think B likes Maxey.
I told you that. I do. I listened to a little interview that Maxey did the other day where he was talking about something. They had like a Secret Santa, and Embiid had him, and he bought him like I think like a PlayStation 4 or 5 or something. And somebody tried to take it. He said, "No, that's what Tyrese. That's what Tyrese." And then they did an interview with him earlier. This is Embiid. They said, "Which teammate would you room with?" And he said, "Tyrese." He said nobody else said no, it's Tyrese. So he really does have a fondness for Tyrese.
That's why I say he looks at him like a son. He looks at Harden like an old head. It's a different type of
I don't think he looks at him like a son. He looks at him like I don't think he necessarily looks at him like a son. He looks at him like
he's scared to demand the ball from Harden. I tell you that right now.
I don't think so.
Right now. I mean, I've never seen him demand the ball from Harden. I've seen him do it from Maxey. I ain't seen him do it from Harden.
Let me get to Bernard McCoy. Post him back up there again, please. Tim, we didn't even get to address. Thank you for one. Thanks for the super chat. He said, "I see why the Sixers still want Tyrese. Man, if you add more athletes to this team, we'll make Maxey even better. Should have kept McDaniels."
I agree.
That's what Ethan was saying. Adding one more athlete. I mean, that never could hurt. I always thought we was under athletic of a team, if that is a proper way to use that phrase. But I never thought we had enough athletes on this team. So that's why I was greatly appreciative of them bringing Kelly Oubre in here. And James Eric, real quick, I agree with your comment. He said, Ephraim, we appreciate this, but Oubre is cutting to the basket like championship Wiggins, which goes good with Maxey shooting deep threes. I agree with that. Him cutting to the basket is clutch. That's winning basketball. That's easy baskets. That's sometimes you don't have to always dribble, crack, crossover, go to the basket. A cut is a very easy way to put the ball in the hole, and it's a very effective way to do it. So that's huge for us. Now my thing is, excuse me, we've been getting multiple comments on this. We talked about this a little bit. What are we doing with Harden? Most people saying Harden going to mess up the chemistry if you bring him back. I agree with that.
I do too.
Do you even risk bringing James back? Because if you bring him back and that ball movement start looking stagnant, what are we going to do? What is it looking like?
Here's what I'll say. Before I address that comment, the boy Jalen McDaniels that we had last year, he said he thought he was coming back to the Sixers, but they gave him a low ball offer. And so it was just more so a business decision from signing with Toronto. That's the only reason why. But he wanted to come back. But as far as Harden, I don't remember seeing him. But as far as
I think he would have been nice on his team, but I don't think we'd had Oubre if we had him.
Oubre had 18 tonight.
I'd rather have Oubre than McDaniels.
I think I would rather Oubre too. I'd rather McDaniels over Daniel House. But
how about that? But going back to Harden does have some qualities that are good.
Like what?
Like the assist, like the ability to make holding
the ball for 12, 13 minutes to pass to somebody that's open.
Yeah, we just had Embiid and Maxey both with like 8 and 7 assists tonight. So I mean, do you need Harden for that?
You don't need him.
You don't play D. What else?
But I ain't saying I want him on a team. I just said he's useful.
I want those good qualities that you so busy. What qualities
on this team. I think direction we're going. I think Harden will actually help this team struggle more than help. It's no other way to word that. I don't think he will be an asset on this team. Harden's he is a Hall of Fame player, Hall of Fame type talent. He's done great things in this league, but where he's at right now, I don't think he will fit in this team. Harden, I don't think he could change his game to fit into this team's what we doing with all the movement and the cutting. Harden's never been that much of a movement dude outside of driving to the basket with the ball in his hands. I honestly don't think he will fit. I don't
think he will work.
In the playoffs, it's a lot of half-court sets.
He's even worse in the playoffs.
No, I'm saying there's a lot of half-court sets.
Yes, 2 45-point games.
So in a half-court setting, I like Harden with the ball in a half-court versus anybody that's on our team right now.
Why? You don't think that Tyrese Maxey running that pick and roll with Bede and because they ran a lot of that pick and roll with Embiid and Maxey in the first 2 games, and it looks outstanding.
It's all fine and good when nobody pregame plans for regular season games.
You don't think they're coming in and looking at Bede and Maxey as the players that they got to stop?
They literally are watching game film on a plane. That's it. They're not watching. They're not breaking that down. They don't got time. It's 82 games a season. In the year.
Well, guess what? They had game filled on Harden, and we see what happened.
There's a reason why when the playoffs come, when people start studying Embiid and start studying how to stop him, they always do. He makes it to the second round year after year. It's the reason that happens because
Harden and Embiid were together. And what did Harden do to help us get to the third round?
Well, him and
maybe a better coach can make adjustments and not have to stick with the script that he did all year and make an adjustment to make things better.
Tim, your point is fair. Harden is a veteran. I'm not trying to completely dismiss your point because there is some truth in having an experienced player in the playoffs when you get into the playoffs. I hear you with that. I just don't think that. So what do you? So you gonna bring him here through the whole season just to try to have him maybe for the playoffs to see if he can then do what? I think by the time the playoffs get here, you can acclimate your chemistry and what type of team you are and your identity to the point that Harden will be a moot point on this team. I just don't see him fitting in.
I just see the value of him. You'll really get him because now we got players that can actually score the basket. Like you got Oubre, you got a better Maxey. Hopefully, you got a healthy Embiid. That will work well with a Harden.
We also have better players that play better defense. Whereas though, if you have a Maxey and Harden, you don't have the same defensive intensity. But if you have guys that can score already, you don't need but so many dudes that can score big numbers on your team.
Playoff basketball is not regular season basketball. It's just not.
We can
look so good in regular season.
He on record saying he never played for Morey. He hates Morey. Morey's a liar. Why do you trust this dude on your team now?
I'm not saying
he's going to destroy this team.
If you're going to get rid of him, what I'm saying is you got to target somebody who can get our players in half-court sets. The way we're playing now.
Maxey has.
He built the play on a half-court set. He don't like going up and down the court anyway.
This fun, even for the Toronto Raptors, as well as they go up and down, all aggressive, half-court settings, playoffs. It don't work. It worked one time when they had Kawhi, who was a megastar, who did his thing, hit every mid-range shot. Besides that, it's gimmicky. It's almost.
Somebody posted SS relabel.
We got SS relabel. Is that scenarios?
Hold up, Tim. So you're saying
it didn't work.
Hold up. So you're saying Nick Nurse's offense is gimmicky? The offense he runs with all the ball movement?
It won't work in the
ain't that the offense that Golden State ran for years and was successful?
How about Nick Nurse run that with a team? Nick Nurse has run that offense. Other than Kawhi year, Nick Nurse has run that offense with lesser talented team. Nobody thought Toronto. It's a couple years where they made runs and where they was competitive in the playoff. Nobody expected Toronto to be that good. Yeah, Nick Nurse has made those dudes better.
Toronto got one Eastern Conference appearance, and that's when they went to the championship and won.
No, they got one. They lost to LeBron. They lost to LeBron in the Eastern Conference Finals.
No, it didn't. That was before Nick Nurse. You sure?
I'm
Yeah.
positive.
You talking about when they had DeMar DeRozan? That's when they lost to him. They was the number 1 seed overall, and they lost to Bron.
Okay.
You know, this offense will work. It's going to be great in the regular season. We're going to be singing his praises. My thing is, how are we going to look in the playoffs?
I think, honestly,
wait. I got to ask this. So Tim is hyping the fact that we need Harden for the playoffs. Ain't that the big knock on Harden is in the playoffs?
Yeah, see,
I don't need him for scoring.
See, my thing is, okay, you're saying you sound like when Barkley was saying how 3-point shooting wasn't good for the playoffs and you couldn't win like that until teams started winning like that. And when once that changed the narrative. So you're saying ball movement offense won't win in the playoffs? That's what you're saying?
It didn't last year. We lost in the second round of the playoffs.
And we had a half court offense.
All right, tell me this: the team, this special team, you said it worked for Golden State. Is the talent on our team is it comparable to any of the championships that Golden State won?
Yeah, that last year, the Golden State Boston championship. Yeah.
When Steph Curry balled out, yes.
That team wasn't overly stacked like that. That team was not overly stacked like that. I mean, they had Steph Curry.
Okay. So who's our Steph? Maxey.
First of all, Toronto didn't win because of Kawhi. Toronto won because Golden State got hurt. Let's be clear.
That's even more so a point.
Let's be clear.
I mean, they got there because of Kawhi, though. That's not like that. They got there because of Kawhi.
They got there because B was sick 4 out of 5 games.
No.
My stomach hurt, and
they got there because Kawhi was ball. No. We're not going to take that from Kawhi. That year in the playoffs, Kawhi Leonard was
so
balling.
KD didn't blow his knee out. Clay didn't get hurt.
Everybody got hurt.
Yeah, but I'm talking about they got to the finals because Kawhi was balling offensively on another level.
Golden State was hurt. They won because Golden State got hurt.
No, I agree with that, but they still did get there. I mean, it was good enough for the team to get there. My thing is, I kind of agree with Wayne. This is probably his best team that he's had the opportunity to coach. I think we got a lot of talent on this team. Maxey, everybody knows that Maxey's the next up and coming, one of the next up and coming stars. I don't know if he's gonna be that bull like that, but he's gonna be one of them dudes that you talk about in the league.
I agree.
So with that being the case, you got one of the best big men in the league, one of the top probably 20. You could probably put top 20 big men all time in the NBA. Now you got a deep bench. You got a little bit of athleticism. You deepened your bench. You got a team now who's playing defense, who's really playing defense. Harden is going to take away from that if he comes back. Harden's going to take away from your ball movement if he comes back. Harden might take away from the progress of Maxey if he comes back.
Maxey has shown development and gotten better every year so far. And this year, like I think Ethan said earlier, you see that step back, that step back shot that he got. Maxey's playing with more confidence. He looks as though he knows he has to carry a burden with this team, and he's playing like that. And that's why I like the camaraderie between him and Embiid, because I think Embiid wants Maxey to succeed. I don't think that it's hate between. I don't think B look and say, "Oh, I got to get this because Maxey getting this." I think he wants Maxey to shine. I think B seeing how hard it is to try to be the dude and try to carry all that by you can't do it. That's why he wanted to bring in other dudes on the squad.
I'm surprised Tim talking. Wasn't Tim bashing Harden, calling him all kind of nuts and suckers, and he got Doc fired, and he gave up in Game 7. He literally threw away the game, so Doc get fired. Wasn't that you? Didn't you say those words on this podcast? Did that sentence not hit my ear? And now you saying you trust him to come back and be this kumbaya when he just said out of his own mouth, like Ethan said, that he can't stand Murray, he never gonna play for him again. He's a liar, he hates his guts. So now this is the dude that you entrust, that you want to entrust pretty much with the keys to the kingdom, because once he comes back, Harden ain't playing around passing that ball. Harden coming back to dominate the ball and score, bro. Trust me when I tell you. Harden.
You know the other part I like about Nick. Go ahead.
Last year, Harden led the league in assists.
You think he's gonna do that again?
You can't deny that.
And he didn't get his
in assists per game. He didn't lead the league.
He didn't get the contract he wanted, and you think he's gonna do that again?
But does he have to? If this system is enabling players like Embiid and Maxey both to have high assists and high points, do you need a James Harden ball dominant getting assists?
No strays. That Steph Curry team. Look at the stats. Clay is not Clay no more. Draymond actually had a terrible finals against Boston, and Wiggins played terrible too. Go look at this. Wiggins actually played good defense against Boston, but his offense was terrible. Go look at the stats from that Boston series. It might surprise you how bad.
What is man? Is man a guard? How tall is Terrence Mann?
He's a guard.
If we could upgrade that the Anthony Melton position
to Terrence Mann,
yeah.
Yeah.
we really be all right.
All I know is that the second round of playoffs, teams are better. And we've lost. And if you got a team that you're playing that's hot at that time,
yeah, like the Atlanta Hawks,
yeah, you know,
they better like that. They better like that. Yep, like the Atlanta Hawks teams. Yeah, yep, they're the better teams we lost.
I hear you, but you the same dude who told me Harden threw away the game. So now you telling me you're not going to throw? Come on, man,
I'm not
telling you serious with this.
I'm telling you, if we need somebody that's going to be able to put us in half-court sets in the playoffs, because those games are the ones that count.
And not throw the game.
And I argue to you that I do think that Maxey and Embiid has been doing a solid ball. I think that first of all, even if you look at his system that he ran in Toronto, he had Van Vliet. He had Van Vliet as the point guard, and Van Vliet wasn't necessarily like the typical point guard. He scored. He's not on Maxey's level.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
We gotta get man over here. He had 6'5" guard. He only 27.
Yeah, I agree, John. Tim has confused himself his own logic. Tim has completely talked himself in a circle. Where before if you would have caught us during the summertime or at the end of last year, Tim couldn't stand Harden.
I still can't stand Harden. What I'm saying,
he was what's the dude named Benedict Arnold? This ball was the worst of the worst in Tim's mind. Now all of a sudden he's the savior for our half-court offense come to playoffs. That's
what Van Vliet ain't touching Maxey. Maxey's a much better player than Van Vliet, in my opinion.
I like
Van Vliet, but he's not Maxey.
He's not Maxey.
He a baller. He's a baller. Don't get me wrong, but he ain't Maxey, bro. Maxey.
Who he play for now?
Houston.
That's what it is.
He signed with Houston.
Oh, he took James Harden money.
He took James. They took him over James Harden.
I mean, I told y'all James Harden wasn't going there. Once I saw they had what's his name as the coach, the boy that coached ball. He coaching young boys. He's not coming and bringing in no old fart to mess up his continuity.
Thank you, Charlie. I'm Tim all over the place. Tim, you might want to back down. It's not too late to back down off this Harden stance that you're trying to. Don't die on that hill, bro.
I am not
very lonely hill to die on.
Harden. What I'm saying is, we need somebody.
We all agree with that. We all agree with that, I think.
So you don't think even last game? Do you not think? And I agree, John Key. It is only 2 games, but are you telling me? Are you telling me in these 2 games down the stretch? I don't think that we fell apart in that first game. I think the refs stole that game from us. I don't think that Maxey as the point guard and running the offense with him and Embiid in the pick and roll. I don't think that was the cause of us losing. I think that was one of the things that put us in position to win, because I do think that no matter what we say we won about Harden had a problem finishing at the basket oftentimes because he was used to shooting a certain way. I think Maxey is better at finishing at the basket than Harden is right now. And he has a better shot, a better 3.
You know,
I'd rather let Harden sit until we can get something for him.
You know what happened with Maxey last year? Maxey started out that Boston series. He had a really good game. He said after game 2, Boston made adjustments and he couldn't figure out. They started doing something differently. They was taking his left away from me, his right away from him. And he said he had to go home and make adjustments. He said because they took his game. They completely took his game.
All right, he's gonna get better.
You know what helps? But you know what helps? You know what helps with that though, Tim?
Y'all keep saying all this about Maxey's this, Maxey that. But what if another coach?
But you know what helps with that is when you have a coach that looks at the film and sees what's happening and tells your player this is what they're doing to you. Maxey shouldn't have to go and see that on his own. Your coach should see it and tell you this is what they're doing.
They did talk to him about it.
Doc ain't talk to him about nothing.
They didn't talk to him about it.
Doc ain't talk to him about it. Doc just run his same stuff over and over.
Maxey had to figure it out on his own.
Games by not talking to nobody about their weaknesses.
Maxey had to figure it out on his own.
Nah. All Doc says is run it again.
with PJ.
Run it again.
Yeah, Maxey had to figure it out on his own, Tim. Yes, so what you say? Okay, when they do that, then Harden's going to come to the day and save Maxey like that, like he did in Game 7. So Harden's going to come save the game say the day like he did in Game 7.
Y'all putting too much emphasis on that. I'm saying we need Harden. What I'm saying is we need somebody to put us in a half court set. We need that type of point guard. Harden is that point guard.
No, no. Harden's not that point guard. But if we can trade Harden to get that point guard, I hear what you're saying. See, that's where you losing me. You keep saying we need a guard, but then he's saying Harden is that. No, Harden's not that guy no more, bro. Harden is not.
I'm fine with Maxey being a point guard. I'm fine with Maxey being a point guard, handling the ball down the stretch. Him and Embiid running that pick and roll, and then you pass it out to Oubre and anybody else outside. I'm fine with that.
The one thing I agree with
Tim. There's no game planning whatsoever for a regular season game. One
thing I agree with Tim with that. I always thought Maxey was a better scorer, shooting guard than a point guard. It's very difficult to try to do both. It's very rare. That's why players like LeBron and all that who can handle and score, and even Joker, that is a rare breed of person. Now, can Maxey be that dude over the stretch of a playoff series?
All right, let me ask you this though, Ephraim, real quick. Can I ask you this because you're a big Steph Curry? You're a big Steph Curry fan. Steph Curry isn't necessary, but Steph can manage down the set.
Listen, but hear what you're saying though.
That guy on that team.
Hear what you're saying. Steph Curry is a different animal.
No, I get that. But, okay, but at this point, so you telling me if Maxey continues to play at this level, if he's playing at this level, are you going to dismiss that Maxey can be that guy?
Hear me out. What Tim is saying come playoff time. We seen B go from 33 points a game to 24 in the playoffs. Though playoffs are a different animal. I do agree with you. I agree. When you start matching up against a team in a 7-game series, I'm not saying he can't, but I'm not saying he can't. So my thing is, if you do get a solid point guard in here, that will help him out. Now, Maxey, I'm confident. Maxey to me reminds me almost like a Jalen Hurts, young dude who does nothing but works on his game. So I can see Maxey being good enough to be able to shoulder both responsibilities. But that's a tall task to ask in the playoffs, especially when you start talking about a team. And I think John mentioned in the comment section, when you start talking about a team like Boston with all this length and all this defense now, you got not only Tatum, Brown, now you got Drew Holiday you got to contend with, and you trying to score and you trying to facilitate. That's going to be a lot, bro.
Well, as long as we ain't got PJ Tucker taking up a roster spot.
With their height, or they have to put Horford and Porzingis. So you could take Embiid to automatically get dropped down. So now you got to worry about Boston's big lineup of Jalen Green.
Stop being scared.
It's not. You're trying to win. You're trying to win.
Boston top heavy too.
Oh, they are. They bench is suspect.
Exactly.
We'll see how it goes.
I mean, that's all. It is.
With all that, we should have beat them if Harden and Embiid ain't choked.
I agree. It is a fill out process. But what I'm saying is, if I'm looking at it, I'm trusting right now. Nick Nurse is a different type coach. It's a different type system we running. It's not like that. It's not like what's his name? The fat point guard from Philly. Lowry, it ain't like he was hooping out as a point guard and he was commanding the team was running in Toronto. They was running through Kawhi. It wasn't like it was this great point guard play from him that season.
Managed a half court set.
But he still didn't. Kawhi didn't have to do everything. Like he could.
He definitely did against the Sixers. He did. He was dropping like 50 points, like 40 points a game.
I mean, but he wasn't bringing up the ball and distributing it. Like he would get down in the block, and if he got
all right. For the Sixers, you telling me Maxey can't bring the ball up and then pass? This all I'm saying is, and I agree with you. I do think that Maxey is better off ball, but I do think that Maxey has worked on it. I thought that Maxey came back a little bit better with handling the rock when he thought he was going to have to be the point guard when Ben wasn't here. I'm giving Maxey as a young player has developed better and more and more every year. Now, I'm not saying that he's arrived and he's a superstar and anything else, but let's give him the props. And with a proper coaching, I'm willing to see that. I don't want Harden, because this is how we got on our discussion. I don't want Harden touching this team. I don't let Harden sit home and collect his check until the Clippers see that Westbrook ain't the answer at point guard because he shot the air ball on the clutch shot at the end of the game. Let's let teams, when teams start feeling a little bit of heat and pressure, let Harden sit there until somebody willing to offer you what you feel like you should get for him.
All right, here we go. We were in the second round of playoffs again. Now you got Maxey in the backcourt with Jalen Brown and Drew Holiday. You trying to sit there and say they can't win that matchup with Maxey? Double team him, getting the ball out his hand.
Maxey got speed.
Well, if D'Anthony Melton is hitting open 3-pointers, then yes.
Somebody say, listen, I don't care. He shouldn't be playing. Leon B.
Who should be playing?
Melt. He said melt.
Melton.
He's going to melt in his excuses. He got wrist injury. Well, then put the bull Springer in. If you know he hurt, stop letting him embarrass himself out here, right? Because he's doing this. He's embarrassing himself, and he losing money. Sitting down.
I agree, Joe.
Let the bull Springer play, and let's see what he got.
I agree with that.
I mean, Springer defense is nice. I like his defense.
I told y'all last year. I thought Springer looked like a solid point guard, like a NBA type player. Not saying a star, but I thought when he got minutes last year, he looked to me poised and that he can be a contributor to the team.
Yeah, Oubre was 0 for 6 tonight for 3.
Now I'll tell you what, 3 of his threes he chucked up at the last minute. I give him
They
that.
It was really at the very in the quarters.
It was like a last second last second Jones. He had to get up there real quick.
And even with that, he was very effective in the game though. Like
he had 18 points, 17. That's nice. By the way, I told y'all too. Maxey was one of them dudes. I think that if given the green light, he can rival the 3-point Steph Curry record. I think
that Maxey actually have been given the green. I think Maxey has been in his own way at times.
Exactly.
No. Harden has been in Maxey's way.
Last couple of years.
I feel like
last year.
When Harden first came to the game, Harden wasn't here the first half of the year when Maxey was running when Ben set out. So Maxey could have straight took over and been like how he is right now. Then that being said, Maxey is young, and I think that's what everybody loves about him because he's young, he's a team player, he's respectful, and everything else. To me, I think Maxey kind of looked like he kind of got that look in his eyes to me, like whereas though, remember how we saying about that killer instinct a little bit? I think. Because to me, like when he said something, when Dame was talking to him a little bit in the first game, and Maxey like said something back to him, like blah blah blah. To me, that shows like okay, Maxey feeling like he felt himself a little bit, and he should.
I think now he realized he can play. He belong because sometimes it could be a little bit,
Yes.
A little intimidation. Now he like I belong in this league. I can play with these dudes.
He can rival if Maxey is a good enough shooter. He's fast enough. His release is good enough. He can shoot deep enough now. He's increased the range of his 3. He can challenge that 3-point record. He's one of the only dudes I think. It may be one or 2 more dudes, but Maxey is that dude that can challenge. And he's young enough to do it. Who you say?
Can Jordan Poole challenge that 3-point record?
Jordan Poole's out of control. Jordan Poole out of his mind. Jordan Poole's out of his mind. And this is why Golden State had to let him go. Jordan Poole has completely lost his mind now. He lost his mind.
You know what's funny about Maxey though?
You see each other do the Steph?
Yes.
He tried to shoot the ball, turn around, look at the bench.
You know what's funny?
I told you he was done.
What you say, Wayne?
No, I was saying, I was about to say what's funny about Maxey. Hey, I lost my train of thought. Y'all was talking. It might come back to me, but I'm just looking at like with certain stuff with Maxey, like, that's what I was gonna say. The funny part about Maxey, even with these first 2 games, Maxey is doing this without the respect from the refs. Can you imagine if he actually and that's another part of his game that I do appreciate. And he did get a couple calls with that. Maxey, instead of trying to avoid contact, and this is where I will say I do think some of that came from playing with James Harden. Like whereas though he gets into the body to draw to try to call, but the difference is Maxey's looking to actually score at the draw contact, not just get the bailout foul call.
Yeah.
Maxey's driving in like on the fast break when he got people off balance with his speed. He's looking to get into the body and get the finish and one. And that's what I'm saying. When Maxey actually starts getting the respect from the refs, if he get a few more games like this, not necessarily saying drop 30, but big scoring games, the refs are going to have to start looking at like, man, this young boy doing it, and they're going to start giving him the benefit of calls. And if he starts getting that, it's going to be another level.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree. Who we play next?
Tomorrow.
We play tomorrow.
Trailblazers at home.
Back again already?
Yeah, we get Sixers game at 1, and then we go
Eagles game at 1. They both at 1?
I'm sorry, the Eagles game at 1. The Sixers play later on that evening.
I'm about to say, ain't no way in the world they're going to have them playing at 1 after playing 7 tonight. That'd be crazy.
Coming on after the Eagles game, you just coming on after the Sixers game to talk about both.
Come on after both.
They come on. You got to do fresh Eagles, fresh Sixers.
Doubleheader tomorrow?
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I know me and Tim will be up to
it.
I see. I'll let y'all know my schedule. I have my people call y'all people.
Make sure you charge your phone.
I have my people reach out to y'all. I say
All right. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Y'all, we're going to catch you on the next podcast. We out.
That's tomorrow.
Peace.